Hey, what's up, guys? Okay, I got another deck list today, and that's a deck that I've been working on for quite a while. It is Ascension Majaboo. Now, this is my own take on the deck. I'll just run through the levels real quick and why I chose them. You're gonna definitely see different like combinations for people. Some people um, want to go the entire new stack. Some people want to kind of do it's really pretty versatile. Like you can build him with survivability backup. You can build him Dragon Ball. You can build him pure anger. It's really up to you. I chose to just go pure anger. I didn't want to like mess around with Dragon Balls. Um, he's not the fastest MP. He has added survivability. I wouldn't say he's got the best survivability, at least in the build I chose, but I think he definitely gives a cooler run for his money if you run the whole old stack of, or the set 11 stack of Boo. But I chose the first two levels from set 11, mostly for the rejuve, but also the discard effect on one combos with a few cards I chose in the deck, as well as the consistency of this too. Just putting cards back in your deck, giving you a selective shuffle is huge. Not to mention, this is a 2 anger on hit. Also, there's the rejuve on 2. Uh, if you're against a big anti-anger matchup, you're not going to be leveling. People can play around the fusion level 2, whereas that you're not going to get it on preventable 2 anger attack. They can just hold out their power, um, whatever. And so using this too gives you a lot of more versatility. You can potentially put 3 cards back in your deck a turn. It just helps. You can get stalled out on this too, but it doesn't matter because you're going to be able to put so many cards back in your deck if you're getting beat down too. It's really easy to get off one, but sometimes you can get stuck on two, but that's okay. It works pretty good. Gives a little versatility. Gives you some time to prime up and fix your deck to what you want it to be. 3 and 4, these are just the only levels that would outright give you anger. The set 11, 3, and 4 have their rejuvenation effects. They have their consistent board clear on 3, and the level 4 gives you a lot of survivability. But this 3 and 4 helps you seal the deal, being able to copy anger attacks from a player's pile. Not to mention, if you're able to get your named drill out, there's a pretty much a +2 happening there. So those are the reasons why I chose those. But we'll go into the board cards here real quick. Earth Dragon 7, any combat's good with Ascension Mastery. You can always Ascension and skip and combat 2 anger swing there. Absorbing Drill is just bread and butter. Really good if you can get it out. Red has ways to grab it with a Freezing Beam, not to mention the level 4. This drill is why you'd run the level 2, but I just think I just like the other level 2 more. So, but running it is like almost like you have to. We run candy, cookie, and chocolate. You're going to generally banish these at the beginning of the game. They're just your bread and butter. Boo level 1 fodder. Um, but they're your board clear, so they're all good. They also have good combos with some of the cards I'll get into in a little bit. Controlled Anger Drill, Attitude Drill, just standard red drills for anger. Protects your anger with Attitude Drill. Controlled Anger Drill gives you a little extra rejuve on top of the anger. So again, getting this card out on level 2 is actually pretty fun. In some matchups, you just sit there and you can put like 4 or 5 cards back in your deck a turn more pretty easily. So we get into the last 2 cards, Red Destiny and Red Relaxation, just standard cards. Destiny only at 2 for spacing purposes. I try to be pretty aggressive with this deck too, so dropping board isn't always ideal. Red Relaxation gives you crits, gives you some tempo, extra cards, just super good. Super, super good card. Moving on to the blocks, Time is Warrior's Tool, standard, blocking hand, standard anger, 2 anger, elbow block over repel because it's got endurance, elbow block over duck or catch. You could run duck to play with the rejuve thing, but I usually am doing a fine enough job rejuvenating, and I'd rather just get the immediate anger. We're trying to race. We'll go with red retreat real quick. Again, this card combos really well. It lets you search out any of your drills, including your name drill, and then if you need to, you can just dip out of combat. Combos, of course, base their combo is usually just going mastery, skip into red retreat to grab controlled anger drill. You banish controlled anger drill for an anger, so you make 2 anger. Combat ends, end of combat, you get an anger off. Ascension for 3 anger. So 3 anger combo, pretty standard Ascension. Sacrifice, this card combos with your level 1. So you can drop it for 3 anger swing, potentially level 1 if it hits. Not to mention red brace, just standard endurance, and goes back in your deck. We go into red shoulder grab, or sorry, the physical attack's got shoulder grab. Utility, one of the weaker attacks to be completely honest. Pretty hit and miss if it works. We're not a combo, attack comboing monster. We do have attacks on level 1 and 2, and we can get attacks on 3 and 4, which makes us a little bit better. But the crits don't really matter in most matchups. It's just there though. It's like your only way to really deal with anger, to be completely honest. And you don't really have many. There's no outright crits in the deck other than relaxation, so it's there. It's kind of like really hit and miss, but it's there. It could be definitely changed out, in my opinion. But red right cross. This is going to be one of the main cards you're going to copy on your 3 and 4. If you don't know Boo 3 and 4, like I said, you can banish a styled card attack from your pile on 3 and perform it, and then level 4 is either player's pile and perform it. So this card with Ascension Mastery, 3 anger swing, that's why it's in here. Mule kick. Boo's got good attachment hate already, so we're just going to double up on it. We don't want to get slowed down by wall breakers, and having some anti-unleash tech is really nice. Tandem attack. Mostly we're trying to just go gasp, so a lot of decks tutor cards to their hand. It's really easy to find people with 5-card hands, so some extra hand advantage for you. The parenthetical is great if you can ever actually pull it off. So doesn't happen much, but mule kick, tandem attack, right cross or shoulder grab, kind of all really situational when they're good. Kind of just like whatever most of the time. They kind of just bland. At least they have endurance on 2 of these, but they're probably my least favorite ones. The main attacks you want to see are going to be right cross and then these next 3. Face break combos with sacrifice. What's another reason to run sacrifice with Boo is that his 3 and 4 with this card in the pile, his 3 and 4 make it so that even if you draw, whenever you draw a sacrifice, you instantly have a 3-card swing, or 3 anger swing, potentially 4 anger if you mastery into that combo. It does suck the Spanish after use, but you only need this like once or twice a game to get the big anger combos. It's just another saucy combo you can do on top of some hand filtering. Counter kick again, same premise. If we get cards like controlled anger drill out, red attitude drill out, even our named drill and our named setups. What's cool is, so one of his named setups of course gives anger if you use the immediate effect. Again, Boo's setups are all about you pull them out with his candy beam and they attach to a card in play. And once you attach them into a card in play, you get to, as another action, remove them from play to get an effect. And the only one that gives anger is chocolate. So what's really cool is you can go candy beam with a cookie to get rid of opponent's ally, or candy to get rid of setup. And then if you don't want those immediate effects, you want the anger instead, you can just go counter kick them for an extra anger. So again, 2 anger card, potentially 3 anger if you do controlled anger drill, just like red retreat. And then of course 3 or 4 anger combo with mastery. So again, 2 big anger combos, right cross included, 3, 4 anger combos. Double strike is just a 2 anger card. And we have good AT, so it usually gets some damage across. Those are the physical attacks. I'm going through pretty quick here, but this is all pretty standard if you've been playing a red anger deck. It's mostly with red anger, you pick a few cards combos, anger combos that you kind of want to go for. And so I picked, of course, discard effects, on board combos with counter kick. Those are my main 2 as far as combo. We got red stack shot, anger card. Everything else on the card doesn't really matter. It's a potential crit if it hits and they don't mod it, but you're never gonna, it's really just for the anger. That's why it's in here. Probably one of the weaker attacks in all honesty for the deck. Survival is just not, like, survival by killing your opponent with damage is just not really what this deck does. Survival by just like putting cards in your deck with 1 and 2, that is a thing, but again. Red Energy Blast at 2 because we have Candy Beam. I found myself not wanting this at 3 all the time. You have pretty good board hate as Boo already, and you can copy this on 3 and 4. So you can play these early game, get up to 3 and 4, and copy them again. Super good. It does the same kind of combo that Counter Kick does with Controlled Anger Drill, which is pretty cool. It's a 2 anger card potentially, 3 anger with Mastery again. Freezing Beam grabs our drills out. It is able to grab our named drill, which is super cool. Not much more to say on that. It has combo synergy with red drills, either protecting our anger, giving us some rejuve and extra anger combo, or giving us straight up block protection. At 2 because you only need it when you can only use it when cards are already out of your deck. So we got Candy Beam, does the same kind of job that Energy Blast does, but arguably better. Has attachment hate. So again, between Meal Kick, Candy Beam, a lot of attach card hate. Final attack is going to be Blinding Energy move because combat ending is great with Ascension. So ran through pretty quick. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of ways to build this. This is my build. As far as how it runs, pretty good. You usually can fly off one very quickly. A lot of times you get to 3 pretty quick. A lot of these MPs, like Goten, Boo, are, and trying to think of who else has got like a 2 anger level 2. I can't think of anyone immediately, but a lot of these MPs, have these like, well, at least Goten and Boo are really similar because they have these hit effect level 2s that give a bunch of anger if they hit. So you can definitely snowball pretty fast, but you can get stuck on 2. Boo 2 is honestly really good though. So because of the reason you can get stuck on a level 2, I think this level 2 is superior to the other one. But if you were to run the Fusion level 2 that tutors a name setup or drill, you have more combo potential with counter kick, so potentially more anger than this level 2, but I think this one's more consistent. Yeah, I like this list. It's pretty fun. It's pure anger. Doesn't play around with balls. Not a lot of, it can be pretty aggressive. You can sit and drop some board if you need to, but it tries to be pretty much like enter, get into combat, gain some anger, which is the way I like to play if I want to play Ascension. So hope you guys enjoy. Again, if you want to tweak it, if I was going to do some changes personally, the weakest cards in the deck are probably Static, Tandem, Shoulder Grab, Meal Kick. Everything else is, I think, pretty much what you should keep it at. But these 4 cards can play a number. I'd even say go down to 2 Static Shot, maybe run like a Lightning Cutter. But again, we have such good board hate already. Like, it's tough. And Static Shot is 2 anger if it hits. You can sometimes sneak it by, but against like very defensive decks, it's hard to land that. So, and yeah, so until I find some better attacks, I mean, biggest thing is Meal Kick and Tandem have endurance, so that's a big. It's hard to cut them for that reason. And Shoulder Grab is like got some utility sometimes in the right matchup if like you catch someone with no blocks. But either way, guys, hopefully this gives some inspiration, reinvigorates you a little bit. It's a list I've had for a while. I might do some changes to it. We'll see. But I think the non-stock count is really good. I think the block line is pretty good. Board setup pretty good. Again, maybe Third Destiny would probably do, but we'll see. Anyways, take it easy and peace.